Here's our how-to guide on creating your first invoice in Xero. So from the Xero dashboard, we're going to press the little plus sign in the top right corner up here. And we're going to create a new invoice. Now the first thing we need to do is pick the contact. So we will pick our customer. If your customer isn't already in here, you can add their details and add them as a new contact, or you can create them as a brand new contact with all the relevant details in. Watch our other video on how to do that. So then we've got the issue date. Typically that will be the day on which you're raising the invoice. You will then want to set your due date. So at the moment it's defaulting that the invoice is due the same day you send it. But if we press the drop down button here, it can be due in 7, 14, various options, or we can pick another date altogether. So it might be that we give our customers, let's say 30 days, or let's go through, let's pick the 3rd of May. You don't need to do anything with the invoice number. The invoice number will increase by 1 invoice number every time you raise an invoice. So you leave that as it is. Every invoice should have its own unique invoice number, and that will just continue to increase. If for the purposes of looking like you've raised more invoices than you have, if you're a new startup business, you can edit in the settings where your invoices start from so that you're not sending invoice number 1 if you feel that that gives off an impression that you would rather not do. The reference, you don't have to put anything in the reference. It just depends whether when you're looking back at the contact, if that's going to be useful for you to pinpoint certain invoices on something that you've done for them. So once that bit's done, we then move down to our second line. If you're using the Xero Premium subscription, you'll have multiple currencies to choose from. So with the standard and starter packages, you just have British pounds. So that's what it will default to. However, we can search and pick US dollars or any other currency that is appropriate for the client that you're invoicing. So we're going to leave it as GBP for now. We've also got different branding themes, and we've done another video on how to set up new and different brands within Xero, so check that out if that's something that's going to be useful to you. So we're going to leave it as standard, but we can see here in our demo version we've created a couple of different brands, and what that will do is it might change the colors or the logo. If you operate multiple brands within your business, you may want to send out different branded invoices to your customers depending on which brand they have bought from. Then in the actual fields section, we've got item. Now this is only relevant if you've set up products and services, and I'll just click in just to give you an idea of what's in here. So you can pick all of your products and services if you've already set them up. So if you're selling products and services that are generally the same each time, this can save you a lot of time in the future. So you could pick, for example here, t-shirt large black. It will automatically populate the price and the account. However, if you're doing it on a more ad hoc basis, you can just manually type in what you need. So we leave the item empty, and it might be that we do some consultancy. You can choose the quantity and the price depending on how you want to do it. If you've just quoted the client just a single figure, you might say, well, it's 1 times £1,000, or it might be that you've done, let's say, an hourly rate. Let's say you've done it at £100 an hour, for example. So you do 10 lots of 100, reaches the same figure. It just depends how you want to show that to your customer, depending on how you have agreed the pricing structure. You've then got the account, which Xero will default to the default sales account. You can edit your chart of accounts, so if you want to see in your profit and loss statement where your sales are coming from, then you can tweak your invoices to go to different sales accounts, and we've got a video on how you tweak your chart of accounts which will show you exactly how to do that too. If you are a VAT registered business, you will need to charge VAT at 20%. If you are not a VAT registered business, pop in no VAT. You don't need to worry about region and project unless you are using those functions within Xero. And an important bit as well, I'll just revert back to those people who are VAT registered. This box can change the value up or down depending on what you select. So here it says tax inclusive. So what that's saying is this £1,000 is inclusive of VAT. So in essence, you're charging you're going to get less than £1,000. You're handing over 166, nearly £167 to HMRC in VAT. If that's not the way you want it to work, go tax exclusive, and then it will add VAT on top of the price that you're charging. So it's now £1,000 plus the 20% VAT. You can preview your invoice, you can save it if it's not quite ready, or you can hit approve an email and fire the invoice off to your customer as soon as you're ready to do so. And that's sending your first invoice.